The story of John and the elephants. John was a young man with a big dream to start his own business. He had multiple exciting ideas, but he always found a way to procrastinate and never quite managed to put them into action. Every time, he came up with an excuse for why he couldn't get started. He either didn't have enough money, he didn't have enough time, or he wasn't sure if his ideas were good enough. One day, John's father noticed how frustrated his son had become and decided to share a little story to inspire him. He told him a story about how a man was passing by a group of elephants and was amazed that these huge creatures were being held in place by just a small rope tied to their front leg. Despite the fact that the elephants could easily break free, they didn't even try. The man saw the trainer nearby and asked him why the elephants didn't try to break free. The trainer explained that when the elephants were young and much smaller, they were tied up with the same size rope. At that age, the rope was strong enough to hold them in place, and they could never break free. As they grew older, they continued to believe that the rope could still hold them, even though they were now strong enough to break it. John listened to his father's story and realized that he had been like one of those elephants. He had convinced himself that he couldn't start a business because of all the reasons he had invented in his own mind. But now he saw that those reasons were just like the small rope that held the elephants in place. They were nothing more than illusions that he had created for himself. Inspired by his father's words, John decided to take action. He started to believe in himself and his abilities, and began to work on his business plans with renewed energy and enthusiasm. And just like the elephants who had been held back by a small rope, he soon realized that he was capable of much more than he had ever imagined. John started his business with renewed determination and focus. He spent countless hours researching, planning, and strategizing. He encountered many obstacles and challenges along the way, but he refused to give up. Every time he faced a setback, he reminded himself of the elephants and how they had been held back by that small rope. John's new mindset helped him overcome his doubts and fears. He believed in himself and his abilities, and that belief translated into action. He worked tirelessly to build his business, always keeping his goals and aspirations in mind. And slowly but surely, his hard work began to pay off. John's business grew steadily, and before long, he had established himself as a respected entrepreneur in his community. He was passionate about his work and enjoyed every moment of it. His business became his life's work, and he poured all his energy into making it a success. Despite the challenges he faced, John never lost faith in himself. He continued to believe that he was capable of achieving great things, and that belief helped him push through the tough times. And eventually, his business became a huge success, exceeding even his wildest expectations. Looking back, John knew that he owed his success to his father's little story about the elephants. It had taught him a valuable lesson about the power of belief and the importance of taking action. And he was grateful every day for the inspiration he had received from his father's words. If you enjoyed this inspiring story, and would like to hear more stories like this, please like and subscribe.